NFL playoffs are in full swing. It is time for the conference championships, and we had a crazy divisional matchup with a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot to talk about in the NFL right now, and this is the Art Recording Podcast where we talk football, we talk basketball, we talk hip hop, we talk everything that might interest you. So,
and more importantly, we spread agendas.
you do.
That's what this podcast was built on. That's what it was founded on. And this episode, you're going to see me spread a lot of agendas.
If you don't know already, that is my co-host, the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. I'm 007 Gage Sutton. And again, this is the Art Recording Podcast. If you are not subscribed yet, make sure you're subscribed. We're posting weekly. Now that the NFL season is coming to an end, make sure that you are staying tuned. We're going to be having more hip-hop discussions again, getting into NBA a little bit more. And yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials. We'll link those down below. And like the video, share it with a friend if you enjoy it. If they're an NFL fan, we'll start getting shared with other NFL fans, and that'll be a free and easy way to help our channel grow. So we would really appreciate it. But all right, E, I think it's time we talk about the divisional rounds of the NFL playoffs, because obviously big implications. These are the teams that we're going to see in the NFC Championship game, but I don't think you could get as dramatic as we did this week, and it was insane.
No, and I think a great dramatic game we should start off with gotta be the Bears versus the Rams. This game was cinema from start to finish, especially the second half, man. The Niners going up, or not Niners, the Rams going up late, pulling away from the Bears. And we got a Caleb Williams legacy drive of legacy drives. Bro, that fourth down off his back foot, running back 10 yards to find, what was it, Colston Loveland in the back of the end zone. That was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in the playoffs. That throw was ridiculous. Like, Caleb Williams, how many times can you keep getting away with this? That play was ridiculous. I remember watching it with my pops and screaming to the top of my lungs. I could not believe he did that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got to talk about the Bears because as people who have kept up with this season and just know who I am as a Packers fan, I have to hate the Bears. It's just obligatory, right? But I've loved Caleb Williams throughout the draft process. I thought he was going to be a great quarterback, obviously the right pick at number one. And I always just had those concerns that he's going to Chicago. Yeah, he might be the most talented quarterback we've ever seen put on a Bears uniform. A play like that, and as much as it sucks and like scares me to think about this guy's in my division for another 10 plus years, that throw was Aaron Rodgers-esque. Like, that's some shit that we call like that reminded me a lot of the Green Bay Arizona game in, I think it was 2016, where Rodgers threw those two, just no way that they're going to be complete passes. And we saw Caleb do it like at least 2 or 3 times throughout this playoff run. That last throw, like you said, was
the best one. I thought the one against y'all was really good.
Yeah,
that one topped it. The fact that he went back, I'm screaming at the TV. Why are you running backwards?
Yeah.
and for him to go off his back foot.
Yeah, drops a dime with defenders in his face, 20 yards downfield. Like, yeah, that was an unbelievable throw from Caleb Williams. And I think the unfortunate thing is, obviously, they lose this game. They're not able to get the job done in OT. But in my opinion,
Stafford with that crazy pass to Devontae Adams, for all the shit talking I gave him for not being able to play in the cold, he played efficient. That's what an MVP does. Efficient, good football, man. And live by Caleb Williams, you die by Caleb Williams. Him throwing that interception in OT when they was marching down the field, I thought they was going to win the game. How do you feel on that? Is that more on Caleb? Is that more on DJ Moore? Not really going through the whole route?
I definitely think it's on DJ Moore. He was jogging through his route. If you watch the play again, I mean, I just think DJ Moore is jogging through his route, and I see a lot of people complaining that he had done this a lot throughout the season. I had seen a couple instances, but I can't say that it was like a trend that I saw throughout the season. Um, but from that play, I do think that DJ Moore let up on that route. And even though it probably wasn't the best ball from Caleb, if DJ is running full sprint out of his cut, I think there's a chance that ball is completed or at least knocked away and complete, like just contested. In that game, we're looking at a different ball game, right?
I gotta disagree with you on that, man. I'm with you, right? I'm not with the Bears fan when it comes to like being able to show have DJ Moore done this the whole season. I get what you mean. Maybe he was a little lazy out the break. I don't think he thought the ball was coming his way. I think he saw the safety. I think he saw the safety sitting right there in that zone, and he's like, "Ain't no way Caleb about to throw this shit to me." And he let up. I agree, he let up. If I'm Caleb, I don't know why he throws that though. Hell of a play by the Rams DB. Hell of a play to dive for that. But if I'm Caleb, I don't know. I just don't see the rationale in throwing that. Like he was nowhere near it. He was covered, and then he wasn't even looking at you. Which, yeah, for sure, blame DJ for that. I'm with you. I just don't know why you throw that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He was feeling it. I think that's kind of a case of like you just kind of let Caleb make the decisions that he think that's a throw I think he can make, even though it was very tight coverage, like you're saying. And yeah, I think that is a throw that he can make, but I'm kind of with you of in the sense
I
of
don't think there was different options.
it wasn't, yeah, there was better options. That probably wasn't the best play.
And it was on what, second down too? It wasn't even fourth down or something. Like I think the Bears are gonna be kicking themselves that both Caleb and DJ for not finishing the route, and Caleb like on some like I shouldn't have even thrown that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, football's a team game. You have to point blame at everyone when something like that happens. It's not just DJ Moore, Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb was probably pressured into that throw, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Bears is you just got to be very, very happy with what you saw this season from Caleb Williams, from Ben Johnson. Even though you didn't get to the conference championship, again, I think this is a huge win for Chicago. They won the division. Caleb Williams looks awesome. Ben Johnson, he just looks comfortable in his offense now. And the defense is solid. I think they could still add some more pieces, obviously, in the draft and in free agency. But this is a team that I think I said it a couple years ago, where like after our draft episode, I said, this is like one of the first times I've woke up as a Packers fan and felt fear. This fear is now real. It is now like tangible. We've just seen the Chicago Bears make it to the NFC divisional round, win the division, beat the Packers in the playoffs. The Bears are back. As much as I hate to say it, they are back.
Yeah, they are, man. And shout out to the Rams, man. We're going to talk about a little bit later who they'll be facing in the NFC Championship game, because I think this is clearly the two best teams in the NFC. But we talk about the Bears being back. I want to talk about a team that definitely isn't back. Definitely isn't back. And that's the Buffalo Bills. Or should I say they are who we thought they were.
Oh, man.
Camera on me. All you Josh Allen defenders, where are you at? Where are you at? Enough. I don't want Josh Allen's name ever being brought up next to Patrick Mahomes in any sentence. For the past 2 years, people have been running with, oh, Josh Allen's the best quarterback alive. He's QB1. No, he's not. He never was. Pat has had the crown since he took that from Brady 4 or 5 years ago, and he still ain't let up. I don't care Pat not in the playoffs. Pat wouldn't have lost this game, Gage. No way in hell would have Pat Mahomes have lost this game. No way. This was absolutely catastrophic. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow you're going up against. You get a James Cook A game. He is balling. He is hooping. The defense is being able to slow the Broncos down, and you cough the ball up 4 times. 4 times. And then you had the nerve to miss Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid for touchdowns that would have won you the game. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it from Josh Allen defenders. Now is not the time. Even he went in the post-game press conference crying, blaming himself as he should have. brother, Gage, if he does not do that dumbass fumble before the half, that's the worst one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bills win this game. If he doesn't do that dumb, because that spotted him, what, 3 points?
Yeah. Basically.
Then you have I don't blame him too much for the Brandon Cook one. Brandon Cook has been known to be soft when it comes to those routes for a lot. I mean, I remember the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl where he should have caught a touchdown pass. I know this, bro. I know this. But Allen, some of the decisions you had, they were awful. And if you're the best quarterback in the league, in quotations, you can't do that, bro.
Yeah, that was a tough game. There are definitely a lot of conversations to be had about Josh Allen because, yeah, I mean, for as great as he is, we just haven't seen him step up in the biggest moments in the playoffs. And I mean, those are the things that you have to give Mahomes in these conversations. Um, Again, like we could always just make the excuse that okay, Josh Allen's weapons aren't very good. He was throwing to Keon Coleman, and we'll get to him, Khalil Shakir, and I mean, like you said, James Cook had a really good game. Should have capitalized on that. All of these things that are kind of going in his direction. I am a Josh Allen defender, and I thought this was the best path he was going to have to a Super Bowl, and it just slipped away from him. And it's really unfortunate when you look at what happens after the game too, because obviously not only do the Bills lose this game, but the Broncos on the other end lose Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. And that's just a little bit more of a dagger, obviously for both teams, but for the Bills, it's like this is a team.
Bo Nix not even going to play, and we can't even be in the game.
Exactly. And on top of that, all of the shit that's happening now, the firing of Sean McDermott, the press conference with the owner throwing Keon Coleman and Sean McDermott under the bus for drafting him, it's starting to become a shit show, a dumpster fire, as you have in the title.
Bro, the thing with, I'm not mad at them for firing Sean McDermott, right? Sean McDermott is a really, really good coach. He built the Bills up to be contenders, but his defenses have been getting torched every year in the playoffs. Every year, especially because defense is his calling card. And you're not going to get rid of Josh Allen. You're just not. But as Josh Allen is in the middle of his prime, you had that team for what, 8-9 years, and you still ain't been able to get it done. At a certain point, what's that Bane reference in Dark Knight Rises? They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. And Josh Allen, it was never going to be you. It was always going to be Doug McDermott if they couldn't pull this off. So firing Doug McDermott, I understand. I understand completely, right? But for the owner and the GM to do the circus that they've been doing the past week has been crazy. For them basically blaming Sean McDermott for not having the roster that they're supposed to have, even though they were the ones that were doing a bulk of the drafting, them really kind of admitting that Keon Coleman was a bust, even though I don't necessarily think he is, right? And then throwing Keon Coleman under the bus while he's still under contract with your team is fucking insane. It is insane, especially with the GM, or was it the owner of the GM blaming Sean McDermott for drafting Keon Coleman? Like, we don't have footage in a documentary of the GM taking full credit for drafting Keon Coleman.
Yeah, it's madness in Buffalo right now. And again, as a Josh Allen fan, I feel for him. I want him to succeed. I want to see him, get past that. It's overtime, man. It's just like, how many times has he lost in overtime in the playoffs? It's just,
yeah. And Gage, man, I just want you to say, don't, like, I know you're not necessarily too much a part of this group because I don't think you believe this, but Josh Allen fans got to shut the fuck up, just like Herbert fans. They got to shut up.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want that. There's no excuses. The whole weapons argument, I get it. You don't have top of the line weapons. You didn't need top of the line weapons to win that game.
I mean, they definitely had an opportunity to. I mean, you can make excuses again about the defense or anything or whatever, but they were in that game. They had an opportunity to win it. And turnovers ultimately were I think the turning point for the Buffalo Bills, and I think for another team that lost this weekend, because Ethan, I think this is a perfect segue into our Texans Patriots recap because
a disaster class by Jason Collins. Disaster class.
So I was thinking about that all weekend. I was like, Ethan said that the Texans could win this game as long as CJ Stroud did not play like Jason Collins. And if you don't get that joke, if you know, you know. But that's it was brutal watching CJ throw all those picks, man, because as you know, and if you watched the episode last week, I picked the Texans to win. I thought the defense and in this game was spectacular. They caused 3 Drake May fumbles.
Drake May was not good.
Drake May was not. He was getting cooked. That Texans defense was doing their job. But unfortunately, CJ Stroud throws 4 picks, and the Texans offense has 5 turnovers. It was just a really, really rough game for the Texans offense and CJ Stroud, who just could not get anything going. And now we have to have serious conversations about CJ Stroud because this is his 3rd year. He's had 2 years where in the playoffs, he's played really rough with a lot of turnovers. And you need to start kind of questioning of, do we extend him? Do we keep him around and see like how much longer we have this window? Because the defense is Super Bowl ready. I think we can both say that, right?
Yeah.
We got to see CJ as the guy. And for me, I still feel like the biggest weakness on this team has been the offensive line for the past 2 years. And I think that has a huge part as to why CJ is playing so bad.
Especially because they got rid of Laramie Tunsil this offseason and they really still haven't like improved it. Yeah. You know, I mean, they drafted Kenyon Green. He really hasn't been that good. And I get it, right? You're missing your 2 best weapons on offense, Dalton Schultz and Nico Collins. But CJ Stroud, you cannot play that bad, bro. If you lose, you lose, right? If he threw like 2 picks and that's the game, cool. They were still in the game until the 4th quarter. The Patriots could not put them away. They really couldn't.
Yeah.
And for CJ to play that bad too, I feel bad because he's getting Kentucky fried right now. Oh my gosh, he's getting cooked right. What was it? Round of applause. Baby, make that Stroud clap. Oh my gosh, he's getting cooked right now.
People are reposting the video of him talking to Caleb Williams after the game last year. And oh man, that just hurts so much because like you see what CJ did his rookie year, and then you see these last 2 years where the stinkers he put up in the playoffs. And like there's still reason to be optimistic about CJ, but you got to get some of those things figured out on offense. Just make his life a little bit easier. Don't ask him to do so much because we saw what happened when you ask him to just take over a game. And if we're being completely honest, he just wasn't ready. The moment came and
was too big. 10 turnovers in 2 playoff games is unacceptable. Hey, for all the shit talk we give certain quarterbacks for being duds in the playoffs, I ain't never seen Jalen Hurts do 10 turnovers in a playoff game, in 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Dak Prescott do 10 turnovers in 2 playoff games.
Well, I mean, anyway, we don't need to get
I'm just saying, but this goes to fans too. Stop crowning these guys too early. Stop doing it. People is calling CJ Stroud top 5 after his great rookie season. He was never top 5. Shoot, he might not even be top 10. He might not even be top 10 for me.
Shit.
To be quite honest.
Dylan asked me a good question. My brother, he asked me, would you rather have CJ Stroud or Bryce Young after the season?
That's what I'm saying.
Starts to become a conversation, which is crazy because after CJ's rookie year, you would have said CJ Stroud, no fucking question. Even after last year, you probably would have been at least happy that he made the team to the playoffs and said like, okay, it was a rough playoff game. He had a lot of turnovers, but we could still grow from that. It was a good season for what it was. Now we're kind of looking at it like, hey, Bryce is getting better. And Bryce just took his team to the playoffs again in a weaker conference, but he also in a weaker division, but he also had a much worse defense. And I would say similar offensive situations where neither one of them are playing in like super high-powered offenses with great offensive lines, great run games. Like I think they were put in very similar positions this year, and we need to start having these conversations about young quarterbacks too. Of like, Is it too early to give up on CJ Stroud? I personally think it is.
I think it is too. I think we maybe jump at the gun a little bit, but I think
Yeah,
this up next year, now that his back is against the wall, is going to be very telling for him in his career. Me personally, I still got CJ ahead of Rice. I got CJ around like probably like middle of the pack right now, like around 13, 14, maybe a little higher if I really think about it. Personally, myself, I think if I had to go off the top of my head, like my top 10 quarterbacks, one is Pat, two is Josh Allen, three is Lamar, four is Matthew Stafford, five is Joe Burrow, six I'd put Dak, seven I'd put Jordan Love, eight I put Justin Herbert, nine I put Jalen Hurts, and 10 probably Jared Goff, and then 11 probably Caleb Williams at 11.
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, pardon me. Lawrence I probably put at 11. Caleb 12. And
You got
CJ.
Bryce, CJ. I'm trying to think who else.
I put Baker. He's better than Baker. Baker's some mid.
Yeah, especially after this season. I don't know what it was about Baker. Maybe he was playing hurt again or something.
But that second half, that's what I'm saying. That middle of the pack, anywhere from like 11 to 14, I probably have CJ.
I think that sounds like about right. If I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And we can definitely do some like quarterback evaluations in the off season because we're gonna have a long off season ahead of us.
For sure.
Conference championships coming up, obviously in the Super Bowl, but again, we will be posting content still even during the off season. So make sure you guys are following and subscribed. I think there's one more game from the divisional round that we need to talk about.
No, absolutely. And it's got to be, well, dominance. Dominance is the one thing that you can describe the Seattle Seahawks team, man. I know Ian is smiling ear to ear right now, but this Seattle team looks like a juggernaut. And in my opinion, I don't know. We'll see in a minute if I pick them. I think they're my favorite for the Super Bowl, regardless of who comes out of the AFC. Going into this game, we were hearing the rumors about Sam Darnold's oblique and how much of a factor that was going to play into it. You couldn't even tell. Because for all the credit we give the Houston Texans defense, which I think is the best defense in football, the Seattle Seahawks defense is a close second right behind them.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. That defense is ridiculous. Sam Darnold, when he play like that, when he don't turn over the football, they're able to get the ball to their playmakers. And Rashid Shaheed get the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, shoot, they're going to be Zach Charbonnet played great. Unfortunately, he's probably going to be out the rest of this postseason and probably a little bit of next year. But they were able to run the ball well. This Seattle team smoked the Niners.
Yeah, I think the Niners injuries came back to bite them. I think they caught up, and then we see the report that it could all be linked to them practicing on a nuclear site where it's like causing them to be injured more often. I don't know what's going on in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't want to. I heard that shit too, and I'm like, oh, is that what we doing? The new route of excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you do if you're the Niners, because I think you exceeded expectations with all of the cards that you were dealt, with all the injuries, obviously losing Bosa, losing Warner, losing Kittle so far into the season, and then not even having Brandon Ayuk. I think really threw this team's season for a loop. But you still make the playoffs, still make it to the divisional round, and even though you get your butts kicked by Seattle, I feel like you still have your coach, you still have your quarterback. Obviously, they just extended him. I don't think they'll be making a move off Purdy anytime soon. I don't know what the Niners need to do. I guess literally find a way to stay healthy. I don't know if you have to fire your medical staff or hire. I don't know, dude. Get a what did Matt Stafford have this season? Like a RV, like a RV. They just got to keep that on site at all times in San Francisco. Make everyone do ice baths. I don't know, dude. Y'all got to figure that out though, because it's been brutal for them. Like, I just feel like they haven't gotten through a season healthy since they were in the Super Bowl, probably.
Yeah, but even then they had the Dre Greenlaw freak accident out the half, and right now if you're thinking at the Niners, like you're like, well, damn, we threw all that money to Brandon Ayuk, and they basically confirmed that he's not going to play for the Niners anymore.
Yeah,
So
he's
now
done.
you don't really have a weapon like that. Like Ricky Pearsall is okay. Jawan Jennings is okay. Kittle is definitely in the territory of being very injury prone. How many more years are you going to do this with Kittle to keep it a stack?
Yeah.
How many
And
more years?
you're probably not even going to get him to like halfway through next season. So it's
And you're
like,
paying him so much. You're paying him so much money. He's in his 30s. Christian McCaffrey probably like he's injury prone too. Great season this season. Don't get me wrong. We saw how he was last year, injury prone. How he's been for his whole career. If you're the Niners, you got all this money wrapped up in Purdy. Yeah, you're gonna get Fred Warner back. Yeah, you're gonna get Bosa back next year. But the offense don't really have any weapons, and you're kind of tied up in all of them minus Ayuk. I think they're gonna look to void a lot of Ayuk's contract. But Kittle, we don't know if something might happen to McCaffrey. So it's gonna be very interesting this offseason. They're definitely like in a spot where like they're not mediocre, they're definitely still good, but like the offense is definitely gonna be taking a step back.
for sure. Yeah, I think so too. There's definitely a lot of things that they're going to need to address this offseason. Losing Brandon Ayuk and probably just going to be releasing him to the open market and having to pay his big old contract. Going to be challenging for San Francisco for sure. But in terms of Seattle, obviously a great win, dominant win. I'm excited to see what they can do in the next round. Losing Charbonnet is brutal because I thought he was playing really great in that game.
He's been really good.
But they still have K9. I think Kenneth Walker is also a good back. And yeah, we can get into our championship predictions now. Is there any coaching movement that we need to talk about before we get into our championship predictions real quick? Because I think he's weird from Sean McDermott, but
Robert Saleh is now taking over the head coaching job for the Titans, which I think is going to be very interesting. I can't remember who I saw that he's going to pair with as his OC to maybe help develop Caleb Williams. I cannot remember. I'm going to do that while you talk about some more stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they're bringing in for Cam Ward, but I'm thinking.
I heard. Oh, Brian Dable is the rumor that they're trying to bring in Brian Dable.
All right, I'm not mad at that. We also saw Jeff Hafley get hired as the Dolphins head coach. So the Packers are now looking for a defensive coordinator. I've heard Jonathan Gannon is in talks. So this is kind of weird. Is a lot of these former head coaches are now looking for coordinator positions because we also saw Mike McDaniel sign as the OC for the Chargers,
which I think is a good pickup for them. They just got to stop him with that gag gene that Herbo got.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's a great move. And like you said, Brian Flores re-signed with the Minnesota Vikings.
Assuming he don't get a head coaching job.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of these guys are getting head coaching jobs, which means to me it's looking like a lot of these teams are either going to
try to go young.
Yeah, they're trying to go young, hire within. Like the Bills, I've heard that they're going to do Joe Brady as their new head coach, which
I mean, he's a great OC. So if I'm Joe Brady, I would definitely take that opportunity. You look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys recently, like right before we recorded this, they were able to pull Christian Parker from the Philadelphia Eagles, a divisional rival, a guy who was able to fix that secondary, develop guys like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell in the last few years. They talk about how much that means to them. If I'm Dallas, that's not a Dallas hire. We talk about a lot of times like how Jerry likes to do the old former head coach that won something in the past. And with Schottenheimer being hired last year and him bringing in Clayton Adams from the Cardinals and them fixing the offense for now, them to basically have the worst defense in football and put the keys into Christian Parker's hand to rebuild this. You see the Cowboys going a different direction, young too, especially when I was looking at the reports too. The guys that were in the mix were Durante Jones and Jonathan Gannon as well. So you see the Cowboys even going younger. So it makes you keep an eye out for these other teams. Like you said, the Packers are going to be looking for a DC. Jonathan Gannon is going to be on the table. The Bills are looking for a head coach. Joe Brady's probably going to be it. What are the Steelers going to do at head coach? The rumor is Mike McCarthy has pretty good ties in with ownership that he may get another shot at it. The Ravens, what are the Ravens going to do at head coaching? Are they going to go for Jesse Minter, try to pry him away from the Chargers? Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot to consider here. And I mean, there's so many storylines that we could see too, because like you said, Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. Does that mean Rodgers comes back to play one more year with his old head coach? That starts to become a crazy storyline that we see this offseason. The Ravens are still looking for a coach post John Harbaugh. That is going to be an interesting job search because I have no idea like what would even work for them at this point, or who's even available at this point for them. Yeah, I mean, I always keep Mike Tomlin in my mind too because I know he's taking a year off, but you don't think a lot of these teams are like, we'd be willing to wait for Mike Tomlin and just hire some Gerard Mayo, basically, like just
No,
hire someone to get fired next year, and so we could bring in Tomlin. But
even the rumors are that Tomlin's kind of done with coaching altogether.
really,
Yeah, that's the rumor as well too. Like this isn't just a 1 year off layoff. He's done so. I mean, we'll find out next year because the Steelers still have the rights to him. But that's going to be pretty much it for our head coaching update. I mean, it's kind of all but confirmed that Fernando Mendoza is probably going to be the number 1 overall pick after winning a national championship in a great game against Miami for the Raiders. So that'll be good for them. The Raiders are still looking for a head coach.
yeah,
They have that number 1 pick just waiting in their lap. That I'm pretty sure any young OC would love the chance to work with Mendoza. It's going to be interesting to see, Gage. But right now we got two of the last games of the season before the Super Bowl. What are your predictions, man? We got the Broncos facing New England in New England with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. Who you got? I know the rumors are that like a lot of people don't in the Broncos organization don't feel like it's that big of a drop off between Stidham and Bo Nix. And I get it. I don't think the greatest of Bo Nix. But at the same time, I think he's a gamer. I think he plays really, really well for them. And I think it's definitely going to hurt. It's going to hurt playing against New England, man. I got New England in this game.
yeah. I think Denver definitely has the advantage of playing at home. I think that's definitely going to come into the factor, or come into factor into this game. We saw the Patriots struggle with a very tough Texans D line last week, and I think the Broncos can bring a similar pressure. So I don't think it's impossible for Denver to win this game, but I do really like the way the Patriots are playing on both sides of the ball. If Drake May can clean up some of those mistakes, he's been playing great football all year. And at the end of the day, I think even though he's the younger quarterback, I have more faith in Drake May than I have in Jarrett Stidham. So I'm taking the Patriots personally. I think they have a really good chance at making it to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if I like their chances against either one of the NFC personally opponents, but I think the Patriots are a very good team and definitely ahead of schedule.
I think for sure. Now, me personally, I think this is the easiest cakewalk that any team has ever had to the Super Bowl in my lifetime. Goodness gracious, are the Patriots not playing nobody? Goodness gracious. But I mean, it is what it is. I know Patriots fans, that's a quick rebuild, and you're probably going to be back in the Super Bowl after Brady. So after Brady and Belichick. So
you're taking
yeah, I got the Pats easy. I think if Bo Nix didn't play it, I would really like the Broncos. But you're playing in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Give me the Patriots.
They're playing in Denver.
Oh, they're playing in Denver? Oh, yeah, Denver's the 1 seed, right?
Yeah, Denver was the 1 seed.
I'm tripping. Yeah, no, I would have picked. I mean, that's going to help Stidham playing at home. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think the Patriots win this game.
Yeah, and I think like if the Broncos made it, it would have to be on some kind of Nick Foles like legendary run from Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, and even then, this game right here that I think is the real Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks hosting the LA Rams. I think that game is a toss-up. To be honest, I think the Seahawks should be the favorite because they've shown nothing but dominance, especially the last half of the year. I mean, them coming down from 16 in the fourth quarter to beat the Rams at home, then they go play the Niners in San Fran to get the 1 seed, stomp them out 16-3. Don't let that offense breathe, and then get a bye off the bye, stomp the Niners again 40-something-6. The Seahawks are on freaking fire right now, and if Sam Darnold doesn't turn over the football and he gets the ball in guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba's hands, the Rams are going to have a tough day, man. Tough day. Who you got in this one?
This one's tough, man. Divisional matchup, obviously. These teams have played each other twice already this season.
They already split.
Yeah, the Rams took the first one, and Seattle won that overtime thriller on Thursday Night Football that I think we can all say was probably one of the best games of the season. I think we replicate it here for the championship round. Oh, this is really tough, man, because I really like Seattle. I really do,
I really do.
but I'm going with the Rams. I think Matt Stafford is the X factor here. Him having just so much experience, being ready for these moments, and I think him knowing too that this is probably the end, like tail end of his career. It would be really nice to walk away with another Super Bowl and add that to your legacy.
And he's about to get a ring too. I think Stafford wants to stack him up right now.
Yep.
I think that's the X factor for me, man. But I would not be surprised if Seattle won this game. They are, I think, outside of that position in the wide receiver group, I think they're probably the better team. They're playing better at the moment. I just think, and think about how legendary that shit would be. 3 road games. You play Carolina on the road, tough game, you pull it out. You play the Bears on the road, tough game, you pull it out. If the Rams pull this one out on the road too, you got to give credit where credit is due to Stafford and the boys, man. But yeah. I also don't want to see my brother Ian happy, so I'm going to go with the Rams.
I think that's a solid reasoning. Yeah, I just think the Rams are good, man. Like, obviously, you talk about Stafford, but Devontae Adams had a crazy catch in last week's game. He's a Hall of Famer, obviously. Puka Nacua is amazing, and he's been doing Puka Nacua things. And although the Rams defense, I think, is probably the worst of the 4, I think in this week's championship games, they can find ways to keep the offense on the field and just give their team a chance to win. I think with Stafford at the helm, they've probably got the most high-powered offense of the 4 as well. So you make up for what you lack on defense with a Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame wide receiver, elite wide receiver. And hey, Kyron Williams and Blake Corum too. Shout out their run game, because I think the Rams' run game has been kind of slept on.
I agree.
Kyron Williams was responsible for 2 of the touchdowns last week. So, yeah, I think the Rams are legit.
Yeah, same Super Bowl pick. That's going to be it for this episode of AWR. I'll be recording a little shorter because there's less games. But please, please, please make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok to see us up to date with more daily stuff that we'll make some videos on. We talk some music, some basketball too. Please, please, please check us out at AWR_podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's been your boy, the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. And it's been my partner, 007 Gage Sutton. We'll catch you guys later.
Peace.